Probably the best experience was 3 weeks ago. I got to watch full delivery up in the OB. Standing in there, I thought at first, the nurse said, "I don't want you to be passing out. There's a lot of blood." And I thought, okay, well, maybe I'm not ready. But I went and I sat in there and I got to stand right behind the doctor when he held the baby and pulled her out. And I got to watch the whole thing. And I sat there kind of just smiling. I wanted to almost cry because it was so amazing to watch the full thing. And that's when I stood there and I said, I can do this.
STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. And we find that of the careers available today, about 60% of them require STEM skills. So the STEM Academy here at Templeton High School is designed to provide courses and opportunities for students to gain skills in those STEM fields so they can go forth and be successful.
If you know that you're going to venture into the field of science or mathematics, get into the STEM program immediately. The STEM program basically requires you to take the classes, and that helps guide you throughout your high school career.
It's just a great opportunity that you don't normally get, and it's kind of like a once-in-a-lifetime thing where you can experience something outside of school and just be a part of something that you don't have to have like a degree, or you don't have to be a professional in it. You can just go and be a student and observe.
You get to have an experience that you would not otherwise have the opportunity to go through, and especially with the internship or the senior project, you get to learn something that transcends the classroom.
If you're looking at a health careers field, then an internship or experience within that particular field gives you an opportunity to see and become familiar with those instruments used in that field specifically. Or if you're interested in engineering, then you have the opportunity to build and to test and to experiment with all of these different materials that really give you a leg up when you go on to whatever career or college you're interested in.
But the kind of experience you get out of a senior project or an internship is invaluable later in life.
Pretty much the entire time throughout middle school and high school, you're learning about things and you're looking at PowerPoints and you're being told that something's true. You're being told that that DNA codes for every trait that you have, but it's not until you're actually getting to see it that it makes sense. It's not until you take a certain gene out of something else and put it into another species and see a trait show up in that species and go, wow, this literally is a blueprint. They weren't kidding.
You get to see a lot of things that it would take a degree or some prior experience to get into, and you get to experience it as a high schooler. So it just, it lets you know what you'd like and what you wouldn't like about possible careers.
So my internship has actually confirmed what I thought I wanted to do. I wanted to go into medicine, and that's what I believed I wanted to do, but I wasn't sure. So my internship just helped confirm that this is exactly where I want to be and what I want to do in my future.
I was positive on nursing, but I wasn't positive on my department that I wanted, and that's why when I did my internship, and I've gone through now 2 rotations, and I'll have 1 in medical surge, it led me to my path on which department I wanted to go into nursing.
It's really cool being in high school versus being in college and getting that experience. You get to really see it earlier in your life to see if you like it or not, and that was a huge thing.
One of my best experiences that I've had while doing this STEM internship was just being able to help people with certain computer problems, network problems. Just being able to help people is one of the best things that I liked.
I've gained so much out of this. I just love tinkering with things, and being able to build stuff and building the aquaponics system was really fun.
You get experience with a lot of different things, and so it opens so many doors in terms of what you could do and what you could find your passion for.
What you get from your senior project or what you get from your internship is something that you are going to walk away from high school with that very, very few other students are going to have. And whether you're going off to a college or whether you're going right into a job, this is an experience that is going to set you apart from the other students around you, both in your understanding and knowledge in that field, as well as your marketability and how easy it's going to be able to get a job or to be accepted into colleges within that field as well.
So you're just going to let the saliva pool in your mouth, and then you're going to gently force it into the tube and try to...
There's a hormone that is released when you become stressed, and that is called cortisol. It shows up in your blood and in your saliva. So my project was taking those saliva samples at a low stress time just for your baseline, and also right before an exam or some kind of stressful time period that you're going on in your life and take that sample to see the difference in those levels.
It's a great opportunity to be able to do this as a high school student and learn how to do this whole process, because I don't know many students that would get the opportunity before they go into college. So that in itself is exciting for the whole learning experience of it. But also, I myself am a very stressed individual, so I think learning this and going through this whole process is going to be helpful with just making sure I'm healthy in the future and knowing how to balance that out as well.
It's a really good community of STEM kids. You know, it's a very productive and engaging environment, and it pushes you to be a better version of yourself academically and just as yourself. And it's rewarding.
It lets me have a peer group that really understands what I'm talking about and understands what I'm going through in like a way that doesn't normally happen in high school.
This is like part of the little brain of this whole thing.
That's literally what controls everything.
Yeah, it sends a signal to everything.
As a teacher, we like putting the work into this, and we're interested and passionate about our own fields, and so it's really exciting to help kind of guide other students in those fields as well. And in addition to that, I've learned a ton throughout this last year about all of the different fields that our students are doing projects in. They have knowledge more specific than most of us here on campus, depending on what their field is and what it is that they've been researching. So it's really exciting. It keeps us fresh as well to be able to see, oh, what is the latest research in this particular field?
Wait, what's your prediction on these? What do you think?
They're all going to be winged and, what is it, red eyes?
For those of you who may not be interested in the STEM program, consider 3 things. Do you like math? Do you like science? And do you like to learn with your hands? If you said yes to any of those, join the STEM program.